Welcome back to You Haven't Played, where we play the games that we haven't played and don't keep an eye on the recording clock. So we're back with the Raven. A murder has happened. The Baron has been murdered, and
Baroness.
Correct. We examined the room, found some feathers, and the old pencil to the notebook trick that's in every mystery novel ever. And so we're just trying to make sure that the butler didn't do it, because, you know, the butler is always the first to suspect.
Did you notice anything suspicious last night?
No, sir. After the Baroness went to the saloon, I went to the forecastle. I was there until the alarm went off.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's one of the ones who's reading it. Ends up.
Yeah. It's like I have the cue card and he's looking at me.
We were unconscious, and the inspector asked us to take care of them.
His lines are written on your chest.
It's clear on your face.
Did you hear the gunshot?
No, just the alarm, sir.
You said you were on the forecastle. It sounded like the Baroness let you have the rest of the night off.
Not entirely, sir. One of the crew informed me that the Baroness wanted to be roused at 10:15.
Right. Why was that?
I suppose that she wanted to toast the success of the journey with the captain and the other passengers.
She hadn't intended to take a nap then?
That was not her way, sir. She had a lot of spirit, shall we say, when it came to social engagements and a glass or two of champagne.
She was a booze hound, it's fine.
The Baroness's cabin seems to have been ransacked.
Indeed, sir, by the Baroness herself.
Really?
She was searching for something the entire afternoon.
And did she find it?
I think she did, sir, yes. She was in high spirits when she finally left her cabin.
You wouldn't happen to know what she was looking for, would you?
I'm afraid not.
Would you describe the Baroness as orderly?
Nope.
Well, she always had a lot of responsibilities, sir.
That doesn't answer my question.
She used to take a lot of luggage on journeys, and I helped her keep track of it as best I could. She was always very angry when she couldn't find something.
What about the photos and the documents I saw in her cabin?
I really don't know. They were out of bounds to me, sir. Memories from the war, I'd say. They meant a lot to her.
The Baroness seemed to be pretty drunk the last time I saw her.
Is that so?
Does that
Pretty
surprise you?
shit-faced.
Did the Baroness not drink?
Oh, yes, she drank. It was no secret.
I understand. How serious was her habit?
Serious enough, sir.
Was she under any medical supervision?
Certainly not, sir. She adamantly refused to see a doctor. Like so many elderly women, she had a distinct aversion to hospitals and the like.
How long had you worked for the Baroness?
6 months, sir.
Only 6 months. I always thought that Butler stayed with their employers for decades.
Those decades have to start at some point, Constable. Her former butler wasn't able to fulfill his duties any longer. Gout, sir.
He had the gout.
I took on his duties and hoped for a secure position for the next 20 years.
May I ask what happened to your arm?
A souvenir from the war, sir.
Doesn't it hinder your work?
Yes, sir. Obviously.
I didn't mean to offend you.
The Baroness had a soft spot for disabled veterans. I think she'd been through a lot herself.
I think that's all for now.
Please, sir. Fine.
Where did Legrand shoot
Have to clear me of all
the guy?
I don't know. I think he said that he shot him and it fell off the building.
Time to listen to my favorite jam.
Here we are. Alright. I'm gonna break this one down pretty slow.
Captain DeConti is sitting at the bar again. He gave me the glass of champagne last night.
This fuck. Right here.
Hello,
You're
Captain
sitting
Butler.
at the bar, I see. You know you gave me the glass of champagne.
You're back on your feet again. Glad to see you.
Glad to see my drug didn't do too bad.
What was your experience of last night?
Oh, terrible. Dinner was fantastic. Everyone was excited about having a pleasant drink under the stars. And then this.
You were in the saloon all night long.
Yes,
All
Captain,
night
I have
long.
to care for my passengers. After you and the others crashed out, I tried to maintain a festive atmosphere. But when the alarm goes off, I lose the debater.
We lose a debater.
How was the Baroness?
She really surprised me. After she was so unapproachable at the reception and didn't show her face for the entire afternoon, I was afraid she was one of the beaux and bourgeoisie. But then she arrived in the early evening in the best of moods. Already heard of you, if you know what
I know what you mean, man.
Did she say anything to you?
I know, man.
I saw her
Okay.
booze
all
trunk.
the grounds cabinets. I told her, then invited her to come for drinks in the evening. I said it would be great fun. The whole shit will be there, and you don't want to miss that. I told her.
And then?
She seemed to like the idea. She smiled and then left again for a few minutes. Then she came back and seemed very happy. We drank a toast to life.
To lie.
But at some point she didn't feel well anymore?
She overdid it a bit. She suddenly started to swoon and almost spilled her drink. I asked her if she wanted to rest for a moment in her cabin. At first, she didn't want to. She definitely wanted to stay in the saloon.
That's what the alcohol is.
Realized that
Yes.
she really did need to lie down. We left.
Where the alcohol also is.
You know the rest of the story.
Did everyone drink from the same bottle of champagne last night?
There was more than one bottle, if that's what you mean. There were quite a few guests, and the event lasted several hours.
The last bottle of champagne, the one the Baroness drank from, did anyone else drink from it?
Certainly.
We have reason to believe that the champagne was drugged.
Incredible. Wouldn't that
That's a
have
great
made
surprise,
everyone
Trace.
drowsy?
Not if it was only the Baroness's glass that was drugged.
I see.
What's that in the drink? It's in the glass.
On a night like that, many glasses are filled and empty. There are several stewards, many guests. No one keeps track of every glass and every bottle.
A few drops in a glass?
Yes, certainly possible.
The glass you handed me last night, where did you get it?
Ah, I understand. You think your glass was poisoned as well?
Did you pour it yourself?
No. I saw that you weren't doing so well and wanted to rescue the situation. I took the first available glass and I give it to you.
Was it on the table?
No, I hurry over to you, together with Dr. Gebhardt, who, of course, he had the glass in his hand. He was looking around for a place to set it down so that he could examine you. I took it from him.
It's the German.
Gave it to me.
I'd like to apologize.
The Germans.
But you look
Luger,
so
he had a
worse.
drug drink.
Luger.
And I just wanted to
Mhm.
comfort you. I didn't think of looking for a new glass for you.
She's just fucking
The
eavesdropping
doctor
the
had
shit out of
the
this
drugged
conversation.
glass in his hand. Is it possible to find out where the alarm was set off?
I'm afraid not. There are alarms all over the ship.
I saw that they're sealed.
Ba-dum,
Can't we just check
ba-dum,
whether the seal is broken?
ba-da-ba-da-ba-bum.
I'm afraid they're gonna be missing on a lot of alarms. You know, this is an old
I feel like the
ship.
song is lasting a lot longer. This
So, you're saying
It's
that
true.
the alarms
Oh,
haven't
it's over
been
now.
regularly
Thanks
maintained?
for saying that. It's over.
Immediately, of course.
I feel like
Of course.
the song will never end.
It's over. they ran out of goodwill.
What can you tell me about the passengers?
Oh, not that much, I'm afraid. I wanted to get to know them properly at the reception. In most cases, I just shook hands with them as they boarded the ship. There are a few regulars on board, and after dinner, I had a conversation with Mr. Kreutzer, a talented violinist, and Lady Westmacott. But you already know them from the train.
It seems like there aren't that many passengers on board.
These bloody airplanes are making our lives miserable. Can you imagine? Grown men
prefer to jam themselves into a narrow metal coffins instead of enjoying the fresh sea air on the ship.
It's all about saving time.
It shouldn't be about how much time it takes to get from A to B, but about how you spend that time. What do you experience on the journey? That's what it's about.
There you
I'll
go.
get
That's
back to
some
my
wise shit
investigation
right there.
now.
Ciao, Constable.
We love all airlines.
We do not agree with this video game character's point of
Yeah,
view.
would highly recommend that all airlines look into sponsoring it.
The alcoholic drinks and everything that
Brought
goes
to you
with
by
them is
Southwest.
top-notch.
Hey guys, this episode was brought to you by Southwest Airlines. A good way to spend your time, and the journey is just as relevant.
expected. Fresh ice and tongs.
Give those tongs.
My tongs now.
Right in front of the captain?
Captain's like,
Oh, okay.
What is the meaning of this? Are even the police light-fingered nowadays?
I need this tool for a
I
criminal
thought he wasn't gonna
investigation.
give a shit.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Good job for
Bring
for
the tongs
adding
back
this
when
into the
you're
game.
done. Otherwise, I'll have cold fingers all day.
He laughs and immediately just turns and starts hammering his fucking drink.
I need the ice for my drink.
Lady Westmacott seems to be an early bird, but maybe that's just because of all the excitement. I saw a twinkle in her eye on the train. She's eager to be part of a real detective story. Lady Westmacott, already on your... Oh,
Constable, don't you think before you speak?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No time for chit-chat. What have you found out?
We're still working.
Wait,
on
what
the
happened?
case. Actually, I have
He
a
was
couple of
like,
questions
are
for
you already on your
Please, go
feet?
ahead.
And she's in the wheelchair. And so he was like, oh no.
That's what
I'm
he's going
done."
for.
What did you think of our adventure on the train? An extraordinary story, isn't it?
I'm glad that you were able to prove yourself, Mr. Zellner.
Hopefully not for the last time.
I'm glad that everything ended well. I want to thank you sincerely for taking care of Matthew. I can't bear to think about something happening to him.
It all worked out in the end. Do you think that the thief from the train and the murderer are the same person?
I think the new Raven is capable of anything.
Legrand believes there is no new Raven. He thinks that the old one has returned.
He said that.
Do you think it's possible? Everyone thinks he's dead.
As a dramatist, the return of the Raven would certainly be delightful. A legend comes back from the grave for one last job. It's quite romantic. At the same
Yeah.
time, though, I'd be disappointed.
Why is that?
I followed the Raven's career closely. There weren't many burglars with such character and charm. His burglaries were clever and entertaining, but he was sloppy in London. He almost got caught, and I'll never forgive him for the affair on the train. No, I would much rather that the Raven stayed dead and had nothing to do with the burglary or the murder.
I like this.
Like what?
I like my thieves to be sexy and suave. None of this
Everyone.
blowing up trains.
Almost everyone. Everyone on
There we
board
go.
is
Oh.
physically capable
Someone kicked the
of
jukebox.
something, but
What's
who has
that?
the dark desire to take the life of a
Are
defenseless
these the
person?
hot
One
jam?
cannot read minds.
And one should not try. You have to collect
I think I might take a cruise after this.
clues. That's what will lead us to the killer.
Shuffleboard and this song all day.
In which they introduce
And the
a
captain just
trick
pounding his
called
fucking.
Don't need to worry about that.
Murderers
Nothing out here but water.
They're nervous or
It's the morning,
unnaturally
too.
relaxed. They have to adjust constantly.
And because of that, they make mistakes. This is your chance, Constable. If you find the mistake, you'll find your murderer.
Have you noticed anything related to the murder?
Unfortunately not. I was already in my cabin and missed all the commotion. Damnable old age.
You're telling me.
Oh, you're still young. At my age, you have to expect that you won't experience much anymore. And
Jesus.
although I've written about murder so many times, I've never actually witnessed one. How exciting.
That's
I
why
doubt
she
everyone
killed
is
the
so
Baroness.
That's why she's the
relaxed
Raven.
in such a situation.
She is.
Is the word you're searching for, right, Constable? I certainly didn't want the Baroness to be murdered. But if I can't undo it, then I might as well enjoy it.
That's a psychopath's point of view.
Yeah. I also have been slowly strangling this puppy beneath the table this whole time.
Be as skilled as everyone
I'm
says.
so excited I could murder this dog.
Focused. I had a chat with him yesterday, and he impressed me, but there's something haunted in his eyes.
I don't think he ever really stopped hunting the raven.
Catching the raven made him famous. What if he actually shot the wrong person? Unjustified fame bothers people, the good ones at least.
And you think he's one of the good ones?
Anyone who tries so hard to tear down his own memorial must be honorable. Or insane.
I'm going
Where are
with
we going, Lady West?
the latter.
Please keep me informed.
Because
Constable
he's
Zellner.
the
Of
Raven.
course.
Bum bum bum. That fucker's still asleep. Alright. Let's go talk to Legrand, see if he's got a cotton swab or something like that for me. And then go back to the murder scene. The scene of the murder.
You can't even look at that other door.
What other door?
There's multiple doors in that area, but the camera angle gets you into the room, makes it so you can't get to it.
Constable? I took a closer look at the blood spot from the Baroness's bed.
Yes, what's wrong with it?
It looks odd.
Odd?
I think it should be darker.
I understand. The iron in blood causes it to darken the longer it's exposed to the air.
Right. And
We don't have time to waste. Dr. Gebhardt, examine the body.
you trust Dr. Gebhardt completely.
I
Yeah.
trust everyone as much as is advisable. There will be a complete autopsy in Cairo. Until then, the doctor is one of the few people on board who is not a suspect. You, him, the stowaway, Constable Oliver, and I all have alibis.
There are still enough suspects left. About the tranquilizer.
Who gave you the glass of champagne?
It was Captain De Conti.
You're sure?
He doesn't deny it, but he also says that the glasses passed through many hands that night and that everyone had access to the champagne.
So it could have been anyone.
Maybe the question isn't who put the poison in the glass, but rather who it was they wanted to poison.
Smart. And who were they trying to poison?
Dr. Gebhardt? The captain got the glass from him.
An unconscious ship's doctor. That sounds like it would be more use to a murderer than a drugged constable.
You think so? Did the murderer have reason to assume that his shot might not kill the victim immediately and that Dr. Gebhardt would be able to save her?
You're right. That's improbable. My ego is just searching for reasons for them to want to kill her and not me. Good job, Zellner.
I found feathers in the Baroness's cabin.
Really?
Yes, they were in a vase next to the door.
I hope this is leading up to some information that justifies this
Damn.
interruption.
Some
What
of the
interruption? What are you
feathers
doing
were
in here?
singed.
Show me.
This
Yeah,
is
you
your
may have
business
something
card.
here.
Oh.
I think that someone fired a shot through a pillow or something like that, and the muzzle flash scorched the down.
Yes, possible. Try to find the pillow and we'll take it from there.
I was able to make the traces of a note on the Baroness's notepad legible. She wrote that a murderer is on board and that she'll unmask him. She asks the recipient to meet her in the saloon at 10 p.m.
Interesting.
If we can find the recipient.
I was the recipient.
Monsieur?
When I entered my cabin last night, I found a message on the floor. Someone must have slipped it under the door.
Why didn't you say anything about it?
I didn't know that I was obliged to.
We are partners.
Not really. You're helping me out until we reach Cairo, because you somehow managed to remain on board.
And then you are staying on this boat.
Choose when and with whom I share information. You can accept that and continue assisting me, or you can spend the rest of the journey on a deck chair thinking about missed opportunities.
And none of this is by any chance related to the fact that the message doesn't suit your Raven theory. The Baroness knew the murderer from the past, and he was already a murderer when he boarded the ship. The Raven was always just a thief, not a murderer.
Careful, Constable. Are you accusing me of perverting the facts?
Yes.
Of course not, monsieur.
Then let's get back to work. Good day.
Then let's get back to
I'll be in
work.
touch if I uncover more clues.
Very well.
See you in hell, Inspector. Alright, well, we got our tongs.
What did we need tongs for?
The vase.
Oh, right. Find the handgun. The second Luger.
Alright.
Good work. There's something in there. Ah. Someone stuffed this in the vase. Looks like it's been used to muffle a gunshot. If this isn't an important discovery, I don't know what is.
Just put that in my
Wrong.
stomach.
Here I come.
Aren't you supposed to find the pillow?
Yeah. Well, I want to...
I don't care what Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt say. The blood. Maybe I'll get the chance to end.
But what do I... The stones? No.
I don't think you picked that shit up.
Better not. Pillowcase is evidence. I shouldn't
Oh, it's a
smell blood.
pillowcase. Thought
I
it was
guess
a
our
handkerchief.
stowaway now. Whatever his story is.
Alright, well, what do I use
To do what?
to get the sample from the blood?
I don't think you get a sample.
Take this diary.
I'll leave it there. I don't have time.
Okay, fine. I won't take the diary.
The port, it's the same problem as with the door. And the Baroness wasn't shot from out.
I think you have to go back to Legrand again. I think we were supposed to get that before we went to Legrand the time we just did.
Alright. Back to the ground. If you have to go to the bathroom, just go, bro.
A singed pillowcase is proof that there must have been a second gunshot.
Just burst the fuck in there.
Inspector?
Can't you knock?
I didn't realize. I'm really...
I'm not getting anywhere. I'm going to question each passenger individually. Anyone without an airtight alibi will be checked for gunshot residue.
But, Inspector...
People trip up when you put pressure on them, Constable Zellner. The Raven is nervous. He's changed his methodology and become a murderer. I'll see it in his eyes. After you.
But, Inspector Legrand...
Inspector Legrand, god damn it.
What was he doing in the bathroom?
I think he was like
We have
shooting
no
himself
proof
up with
that
drugs.
The Raven and the murderer are the same person. Quite the opposite. The Baroness's message hints at the fact that she knew the murderer and that he'd killed before.
You may not know it, but I do. I will catch him with or without your help.
Looking at his chin, I guess.
I don't believe it. What's gotten into him? Oh, well. Then It makes
Heroin.
no sense to tell him about my
Black
theories.
tar
His
heroin.
opinion is already set. I need evidence. Or better yet, the murderer. I also need his lab if I'm going to get anywhere. I need to get in there somehow. And I really need to talk to the stowaway. He may have information, and the inspector will just ignore him, since he's too young to be the Raven.
Interesting.
What time are we at?
25 minutes.
The Grand
All
locked
right.
the door.
But it's unlocked.
The lock isn't especially secure.
If I had a wire, where's that woman?
I could probably pick it.
Go get a hairpin again.
Yeah, looks like. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Maybe more people have shown up now. I don't know, he's over here drinking over here. Oh no, he's just biting his nails. Oh, I totally missed her.
Captain DeConti seems old and tired.
Took a while to establish.
Okay.
A life like his, I suppose. I'm sure Captain DeConti wouldn't mind a chat, but I don't. Miss Mayers seems to have found an opportunity to do nothing. Hello, Miss Mayers.
Why does she love having her hand over her face all the time?
Constable Zellner. Do you think it's appropriate to go sunbathing in a situation like this?
What situation?
A woman was murdered last night.
If refusing to sunbathe could bring the dead back to life, I'd go back to my cabin immediately.
Did you hear or see anything suspicious last night?
No, I didn't feel very well last night. I went to bed early.
So, you're feeling better this morning?
Thanks for asking.
I'm sure your parents are truly sorry that they can't be with you at this difficult time.
Maybe, but I'm not a little girl anymore. And thinking about my fiancé keeps me going.
You're engaged?
Yes, my boyfriend and I got engaged right before the trip. I want to surprise my parents, especially my dad.
I'm sure he'll be very surprised. But what will you do if your father doesn't agree to the engagement?
What choice does he have when he put me on this boat full of thieves and murderers in the first place?
Charming. Enjoy the sun, Miss Mayers, and don't let us disturb you.
If you're trying to make me feel guilty, Constable, it's not working.
Damn.
Zellner's her father.
True
Wait.
facts.
What?
What?
I walked through
Right,
that
come
door,
on, you
and then I
have to
walked
give
through
me a
this
bit
door.
more. You're the
Two
only one who was on the
captains?
train and who has no alibi.
The
Oh.
nervous captain and the drinking
In my
captain?
cabin.
Are you
I don't
sure
understand
that was
anything.
your cabin?
I guess I wasn't supposed to go through the
Grant will
through the
question
forecast that way.
guests one after another. But if he doesn't get the answers that he wants to hear, it could become unpleasant for them. I'm sure Captain DeConti wouldn't mind it.
Put the tongs back.
Lady Westmacott,
By all means.
how is the...
Are you implying that I'm an eavesdropper? The inspector is placing a lot of pressure on our dear Mr.
Yes,
Watson.
I am.
He's the only one who was on the train and who doesn't have an alibi for last night.
Perhaps. But him? A murderer?
I know people like him. He doesn't have enough backbone to kill someone in cold blood and remain so calm. He'd turn it into a drama and then a farce. Drink himself insensible and then, railing at fate, pitch himself into the sea. Forget him. Legrand is wasting his time. Mr. Kreutzer just happens to be a perfect fit for the inspector's image of the Raven.
Athletic, cultured, moves among...
I'll eat his violin if he's the Raven or the murderer.
I have to be going, lady.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
Okay. You want me to return the tongs? I can't.
All right.
Mr. Kreutzer clearly feels uneasy. But does Legrand is absorbed in the interrogation. He still seems pretty annoyed. The violinist.
Alright, well, next time we will figure out who's the murderer, probably.
Probably.
My guess is this guy.
My guess is
No human can be in two places at once.
they all did it together.
They all did it together. Everyone shot her in the face.
Baroness shot herself by accident.
Alright. See you next time, guys.
Peace.